friends! So I am here with Nellie, baby girl, for my 22 to 24 week update. So I got a little behind on videos from the week before Christmas, and then I was gone for 10 days. I was in Syracuse, New York, and then New York City for Christmas and New Year's, and I got very far behind. So instead of making, I love you. Instead of making a ton of videos, I figured I would just bridge the gap and get back on schedule. And I'm currently filming this in our guest room, which is one of Nellie's favorite spots because she can see out the window to the front. So she will be joining me today. So today I am 24 weeks and 4 days, and I use the Ovia app, and according to that, he is the size of an eggplant this week, which is kind of exciting, and I can definitely feel him being that size. His cakes are absolutely crazy. They are so strong. But otherwise, right before, or right after actually, I filmed the last video, we had our 22-week appointment. So that appointment went really well. He is growing right on track. I think my belly, that fundal measurement said 21 weeks. It's supposed to be 22, and like 2 centimeters either way is totally fine. We talked about water intake. I get to go back to normal because actually my blood pressure, which is normally either 90 or 100 over 50, was at 110 over 75. So even though that's a totally normal number, it is significantly higher by 25 degrees than what I have been the entire pregnancy and what I have been my whole life. So I no longer need to have the 100 ounces a day to try to raise my low blood pressure because it's clearly risen. And actually I'm supposed to be doing a low sodium diet until my next appointment just to see if that makes a difference, because even though that number is still totally normal, I had about the 2.5 to 3 weeks of no morning sickness, no symptoms, and then after hitting 20 or 21 weeks, I forget exactly when it happened, my nausea came back, my vomiting came back, and my vision went downhill really fast. It had been a little blurry from the beginning, but then it actually just plummeted. So because of that, and then my rise in blood pressure, even though my blood pressure is still normal, but it was a 20 or 25 degree increase from normal, and my mom has preeclampsia. They want to see, basically have me go on low sodium-ish diet, normal water intake, basically stop trying to raise my blood pressure and see if it goes back to normal, if it's just a fluke. When I went home to Syracuse, which was the day after this appointment, my mom's nurse had a blood pressure cuff, and I really hadn't changed my diet because this was Christmas, and I just figured when I came back here, I would start being super healthy. And she took my blood pressure, and both days I was back to 90 over 50, which is what is normal. So I'm thinking that it was just kind of a fluke for that day. But due to all of those symptoms, they just wanted me to be a little extra cautious, and are just kind of going to keep their eye on it and see what happens. But speaking of my vision, while I was in New York, I did actually have to go and get glasses. So now I feel like I look super smart. I haven't had glasses in 6 years, I think. I got LASIK in summer of 2012 because my vision was so bad. I've had glasses and contacts pretty much my whole life. And so I immediately knew that my vision was going bad when I couldn't see street signs, and even on the TV, just like reading channels, it got difficult, and it was kind of funny, but then it got to be really bad to the point that I was really uncomfortable driving at night. So I got these bad boys, which should make it better. The doctor did say, my OB had wondered if it was from hormones or if there's potential edema behind my eyes, because that can be, I think, just a pregnancy thing or a preeclampsia-ish thing. Also have been having racing heart rate and some like piercing headaches. I've only had 3, and I haven't had them since, so hopefully it's just kind of all a fluke. But all of that to say, she had wondered if that was part of my vision, but then my eye doctor did say that he really thinks it's hormonal because my vision is exactly identical in both eyes, and it went down 3 levels on both eyes, which means, or to him says like, yeah, this is definitely hormonal unless I had an equal amount of edema behind my eyes, which I don't know if that's possible. But either way, long story short, I think, sorry, I keep moving, I want to keep Nellie in the frame because she's just the cutest. Either way, I don't think it's going to be an issue, and if it does end up being an issue, the fact that they're checking it out is great. So that was kind of the main thing of our appointment. otherwise it all went great, and it's wild now. I'm filming this on the 3rd, yes, the 3rd of January, and I have another appointment 2 weeks from today, so it's starting to go really fast. I have that appointment, which will be my glucose test, and then starting after that, then I go back on the 31st. I'm going every 2 weeks, so it will be crazy. By the end of this month, it'll be my 3rd trimester, which is absolutely wild to think about how fast it's going. I'll be full term on April 1st, which is less than 3 months away, so it's crazy how fast it's going. But, so getting into the questions. I meant to have this pulled up before and I didn't, but you can watch Nellie try to find her little, oh, she's the cutest. Okay, I know everybody thinks that their dog is the cutest, but you know, mine is. Okay, anyways, so how far along? Kind of already went through this, that I'm 24 weeks and 4 days today. What else? So yeah, 15 weeks and 4-ish days to go. For some reason, I just feel like it's getting really, really close, even though I still have a lot of time. My total weight gain, when I came back from Florida, I jumped on the scale from Florida. I am in Florida. When I came back to Florida, I jumped on the scale and I was 113, which was super exciting. I am no longer that. I went back down to, I think, 111 or 112 when I weighed myself again the next morning. So it's fluctuating a little bit, but that would be, I started at 98. So 112 would be 14. So I'm between 13 and 14 pounds, which is exciting. I know they had originally said 40 pounds, but I'm thinking more that 20 to 25 is normal. So I'm just kind of trying to gain maybe a pound a week, even though I'm not really focusing on the scale. I'm just trying to make sure I'm eating as much as I can, or, you know, every 2 hours, and that baby is still measuring on schedule. So as long as he's measuring on schedule and I'm not losing weight, I am happy. I have gotten to the point, I think, with my stomach where I can't eat a lot. I was fine. I had no symptoms. I'll get into this a little bit later, but absolutely no pregnancy symptoms while I was in New York. I felt, I mean, well, I had like cramping and stuff, so I shouldn't say that, but like nausea, vomiting, none of that. And I was trying to make sure I was eating like every 2 hours or so, but there were times where it didn't happen, or I would fall asleep without having my 9 p.m. snack, and then I would wake up and felt totally fine. And then we flew back New Year's Day. I ate like an entire pizza, or I think I had 3.5 pieces of the most delicious white pesto tomato pizza ever. And then I took a nap, but sitting up on the couch, so it wasn't like I went down and laid down. And then I woke up and got sick and threw it all up. And then I felt pretty lousy for the rest of that day and most of the next day. And so I was like, what the heck? I felt totally fine, and then this happened. But I'm thinking more that might have a little bit to do with temperature, because I did start Googling, and I know heat and all of that stuff can make you feel sick, especially if you go on vacation when you're pregnant. But this is my normal, like I always live in Florida, but then we turned the AC down, I slept with a fan, and I felt better. So I think that has something to do with it, but I also think it's just overeating, because he's taking up so much room. You'll see the belly shot I definitely popped in the last couple weeks. And he just, you know, I can't really breathe that well after I eat. So I'm thinking that has a lot to do with it. I don't really remember where I was going. Oh, yes, with eating. That I'm trying to now really try to eat, make sure I'm getting my calories by eating a little bit every few hours, so I don't overdo it, don't get sick, but also keep the weight gain up. Maternity clothes is a yes. Still kind of doing the same thing as I mentioned before. Actually, right now I'm wearing a nursing tank. This one's from Target. It was Christmas present, and I have some maternity leggings on now that you can see. I wear them all the way up, even though I can still get away with under the belly, but I just kind of like how it feels over the belly because it stays up better. But I am definitely in maternity. I'm still trying to wear some sweaters and things that are not maternity, and they're definitely stretching, so I have to wear something underneath so you can kind of have the layer. But it's definitely getting there. I have the belly band, and like I've said, man, those jeans, they go up, but they are fighting. They are not trying to get over those thighs, so it's really only a matter of time before I just have to give in and be 100% maternity clothes. Sleeping, I've been sleeping great. Even in New York, I slept awesome, even without Nellie next to me, which makes it extra hard. But sleep is great. The pregnancy pillow is still the greatest thing that's ever happened to my life. And I have not been waking up to pee as much in the middle of the night. I can usually get to like 6:30 or 7, which is awesome, because then it's like, I feel like I get that huge stretch. So that's been awesome. Movement, absolutely moves like crazy. He kicks all the time or punches or moves. I don't really know what he's doing, but he is always in there moving. And the best thing, no, that's a lie. The worst thing is at some point kind of around Christmas, he shifted and he was like perpendicular. So I think his head was here and his feet were back here, and he was literally kicking inward. And that is something that I had never experienced before. The first time he did it, I literally gasped. It took my breath away. It was very painful. It was very weird. Like your organs never, I mean, my organs have never been kicked from the inside. And I don't know if he was kicking my kidney or what was happening, but then it was also kind of like my bladder. But then it kind of felt like he was kicking my butt, but from the inside. It was just the most bizarre thing ever. And he would do 2 or 3 and I would literally, it would take my breath away. So that was strange. Did not love that so much. But you know, I feel bad saying that because obviously I love his kicks. I love to know that he's in there cooking and moving and doing his thing, but I much prefer the outward kicks, and he did switch back. So that was great. Cravings, really just fruit. I mean, I do love hot wings. Like I'm always in the mood for hot wings. So that's a thing, but it's not so much like I need them right now, but if I smell them or somebody mentions them, I'm like, ooh, I kind of need to have that. When I wake up, if I'm feeling any bit queasy or just don't have much of an appetite, I want fresh fruit. Always blueberries, raspberries, and watermelon are just kind of my go-to. Once again, I think it's the cold, which is funny because when I was super, super sick, I just had hot all the time, and because that's the only thing that seemed good. But now I'm wondering if the heat with the nausea, you know, so I'm still trying to figure it out. I've been having a lot of my shakes again, which I wasn't able to do for a while. I had like a kind of aversion to them, and so that's just cold and nutrients and all those good things. So I'm really trying to focus on the cold and see how that helps. Aversions have really subsided a lot. The main one was those black beans, and we had some nachos in New York that had black beans on them, and you know what? And at first I was like, I don't know how I feel about it. And then I ate them and I was totally fine. Whereas in the beginning, if I ate something that I wasn't in the mood for, game over. So hopefully, fingers crossed, the aversions are done, at least for now. Happy or moody, for the most part, I have been pretty happy. I have been a little tired and run down, but I haven't been crazy moody like I was like in week 21. I was really irritated all the times. Like I have moments I can tell that my patience runs thin. I was not expecting so much over Christmas to have all of the judgment. I got a lot of judgment for not drinking, which is kind of funny. But I mean, obviously I would never drink heavily, but I didn't even want to take a sip of something. To me, it was not worth it. I know that that would be completely fine. And even doctors say that a sip won't do anything. And like, I'm aware of that, but you know, my husband and I just felt strongly that it wasn't necessary, and I didn't, and I got a lot of abuse for it. And I could tell, like, sometimes I would just laugh, and then like sometimes it would really annoy me, so I could tell that I was just like, ee. But other than that, I was pretty happy. It definitely helps with the holidays because it's great to be able to escape life and just enjoy. So that was awesome. Symptoms. So I pretty much discussed this a little bit before, but previously to going up to New York, I had the nausea, the vomiting, the racing heart, which is different. I get palpitations all the time, but this would literally wake me up and it would just be like bzzz, and it was crazy. That and some headaches, but all of that subsided while I was in New York. I did have a lot of cramping and this other weird feeling that it's like he would kick and then right where he kicked it would cramp, and that was weird. Christmas Eve, I had a lot of just basically it felt like everything was stretching and hurting, and I know he's really growing, and I think that's what it really was, but that was really my main symptom. And like physical fatigue, I don't necessarily need to sleep as much. I mean, I do sleep a lot. I think I've mentioned it in a previous episode that I'm very fortunate to work from home, and I usually do sleep like 10 or 11 hours a night, and then I'm fine during the day, which I'm sure is because I'm sleeping that much. And if I had to wake up and be at an office at 8 or 9, it would be different, but I just need to wake up and be near my phone, and so that has been a huge blessing. So because of that, I don't have much sleepiness, but I can't be standing too long. I just need to sit and then regain it, and then I'm feeling fine. So the whole time I was in New York, felt completely fine. Couple bouts of nausea here and there, and I would eat something, then I'd be fine. When I came back, like I mentioned before, I got really sick, so I'm thinking that I just need to be more careful about not overeating, sitting upright, all that, because I am getting shorter breath after I eat, which is kind of funny. But other than that, and my vision symptoms have been really, really good. So fingers crossed they stay that way, and then it just kind of shifts to him just being large and in charge and in there. Obviously the vision, which I mentioned with my glasses, but that's helping that situation. So I think that's about it for symptoms. Best moment this week. I'm trying to think. Oh, duh. So 24 weeks was viability day, so that was awesome. And obviously I do not want him to come now, but it is kind of a sigh of relief. One of our friends said that literally she's a labor and delivery nurse, and the day that she got viability, she just had like a dance party in the shower. So it is nice, you know, after 24 weeks, doctors will try to intervene and babies can live outside the womb and all of those good things. So 24 weeks, we cheers. Everybody had their mimosas and I had my water while we were in New York, and we cheers to viability day. So I hope that he stays in there and keeps cooking, but that was definitely a big milestone that I was super happy to get. And then most looking forward to this week, I don't really have anything baby wise, though one of my best friends is coming to the town and she gets to meet the baby for the first time, so that will be really cool. That's another thing that was awesome, being home. Everybody got to feel the baby kick, which is cool, all the grandparents. So that was awesome. And so that'll be a fun week, and then I'll be 25 weeks, which makes me feel like I'm close to 26 weeks, and then I feel like I'm close to the 3rd trimester, and then we can just go, because Lord knows I am ready for baby to be here. We also ordered baby shower invitations, so now that the new year's here, I feel like he is coming, and he is coming fast. Are you ready? I think she's ready. Yeah. Are you ready for baby brother? Yeah. She has no idea what's coming to her. Isn't she cute? So now for the fun part, the products I'm loving, or baby products. So I don't even have words for how spoiled baby got for Christmas. I mean, I don't know if I'm exaggerating if I say he got 30 outfits. I mean, it's probably something close to that, maybe even more. And some toys, he was so spoiled, and most of them are actually still in New York because Kyle's dad will be driving down for a golf tournament, so we're just packing everything in the car. But I did bring some of them home that I have to show you because it's so cute. I was actually a little irritated when I was registering and just kind of looking for baby stuff online, because I feel like everything is girly or gender neutral. And I don't want gender neutral. I want boy. I want trucks, and I want dinosaurs, and I want monsters, and I want boy. And I mean, I'm all about gender neutral stuff. That's so cute and great and whatever. But come on, there's 50 million floral everything girl, and you can't give me a truck. So I was getting, that's right, there was one moment I was getting a little moody. I was looking on, I forget what it was, Posh Peanut or something like that. Something super cute with like the mommy and me matching like hospital gown and swaddle things. And there's 13 pages of different girl prints, and there's like 5 boy ones, and it's like solid blue, solid green, solid brown, and then like navy and white stripe. Like really, come on. Anywho, I digress. But so when I find boy stuff, it's great. But this first, I have to show the greatest gift of all time. And this is from my brother-in-law. And it's a onesie with Nellie's face on it. So you may or may not know, my obsession with my dog is just absolutely unreal. She is my baby. She's my first baby. She will always be my baby. And they joked, Kyle and Kevin joked probably a month ago maybe, that he had got me the greatest gift of all time. And literally the day before I opened this, I said to Kyle, I'm like, do you think that it's a onesie with Nellie's face on it? But at the same time, I didn't want to mention that because that would be to me the greatest gift of all time. And then if it was something else, I would have felt really guilty, so I didn't say anything. And it was. It says, I love my big sis. And it's a newborn with her face, because they're gonna be the best friends. I mean, I wore it literally like this the rest of the night, and I even went to church because it was Christmas Eve, and I still had it on. And then I slept with it next to me in bed because I'm a crazy person, but oh my God, I could just die. I'm obsessed. Then this little hat, which is super cute. It's got S for Syracuse. It's also a tiny little newborn hat. And then hashtag Kraus baby on the back. And Kraus is a hospital up in Syracuse. My dad is the director of the ICU. My mom was an ICU nurse. That's how they met. My brothers worked there. I worked there. And Kyle's sister is a NICU nurse there. So we love Kraus Hospital so much. So now he has a little bit, even though technically he won't be born at Kraus Hospital, he will always be a Kraus baby. So loves that. And then a couple little ones. I just thought this was precious. Kyle actually wore the same shirt for Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, I forget, and I have a dress that matches. So I just thought that that was the cutest little thing. And once again, like, this is boy. This makes me happy. I mean, girls can wear plaid too, you know, whatever. But it was super cute. And then, exactly what I was saying, I found a little sleeper with little, look on it, it's literally little trucks. It's like construction trucks and a cement truck and all of the things. I mean, I'm as girly as they come, and so it's wild how I feel about trucks now, but it made me super, super happy. And then this one I found on clearance at Target. I actually got 6 outfits because there was one that had a little pocket and I just had to have it. So the thing about being in New York is, for like, their summer stuff goes on clearance, whereas down here it never does. So I had to get this because, once again, I wanted something super boy. And it is, you know, it's a sleeper, or I think it's a sleeper. It's a onesie that has the buttons, and I know it's all about the zippers, but I had to have it because it has teeny tiny little dinosaurs on it, and it says Brave, and I thought it was so cute. And look at this little hat, the little dinosaur hat. I was just obsessed. And then there's little pants that go with it, and then little feeties that kind of look like little dinosaur heads with the little horns or whatever. And so I thought it was so cute and so boy. So I got super pumped and got it. But he got so many cute outfits. I think I forgot it. My sister-in-law got him little like preppy shorts and like little button down for like a 3-month-old. It is so cute. So I'm completely obsessed with all things boy. So I am super, super happy that not everything was just gray and boring. Now for the 24-week belly shot. This sweater used to completely hide the belly, but now it does not anymore. But you can see he is definitely out. My belly button is borderline here. It's kind of poking out a little bit, but I've had 2 laparoscopic surgeries through my belly button, so I think it's more just the scar tissue that's popping out, but it is definitely even. So he is a-coming. Ding, ding. So this is 24 weeks and 4 days. So that is it for my update. I'll be back next week with 25 weeks, which is crazy. We're getting there. And Nellie's obviously very excited. Can't wait for her baby brother, and neither can I. So